All right, hey everyone, welcome back to Pro Wrestling for Life, where we discuss everything WWE. No scripts, no studio, just talking wrestling on my couch. Today we are going to discuss WWE's handling of Dominic versus AJ Styles, the rematch for the Intercontinental Championship. WWE had a golden opportunity here. They were in France where AJ Styles, who had a match with Cody Rhodes a couple of years ago for Backlash, it was Cody's first defense after he won the title off of Roman. And the French crowd just went nuts for AJ Styles. They have this song that's about being phenomenal, and AJ Styles is known as being the phenomenal one. So they sang this song. It was kind of a chant / song that they sang, and it was fun, and they continued to do it. I mean, the camera was shaking from all the people just bouncing and just, it was crazy. And AJ Styles lost that to Cody because, I mean, obviously Cody finished his story and they weren't going to have him drop the belt one match after beating Roman after, a year and a half of trying. So that just wasn't going to happen. But, they were in Paris this weekend, and AJ and Dirty Dom had a pretty entertaining match at SummerSlam. It did everything it was supposed to. It was, the tribute to Eddie Guerrero. It was a good match. AJ came out in the lowrider. It was just entertaining. It was fun. It was a fun match. And, Dominic got the best of AJ Styles by having his boot loosened. So when, I don't know what AJ was trying to do, some kind of ankle lock submission type move, Dom pulled his boot out and he got a hold of the boot and he hit AJ with it and he got the victory. So it was fun. It was, lie, cheat, steal kind of thing, as a tribute to Eddie Guerrero, and it did what it was supposed to do. And so they, good for them for continuing the feud, because it shouldn't have been over then, and it wasn't. And they had a rematch, and I think that it should have been on the PLE. I think that it should have been on Clash in Paris. It was big enough, and AJ Styles gets such a reaction in France because he's the phenomenal one, and they have their phenomenal song, that it was just made for this moment, and they didn't have the match on Clash in Paris, and they had room. I mean, they had almost a 4-hour PLE with nearly an hour of it taken up by the Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed match, and all the after match things that happened that took, I don't know, like almost 20 minutes or something. That could have been done in less than half of that. They could have beat him up and tsunami'd him and speared him and done all that in like 6 minutes, instead of 18 or 16 or whatever it was. And they could have fit this match in, and they didn't. They saved it for Monday Night Raw, and it wasn't even the main event for Monday Night Raw. The main event was LA Knight and Jey Uso versus the Bronze. And even in between the two matches, the tag team match and Dominic and AJ, there was the CM Punk and Becky Lynch Seth Rollins promo that was really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a great promo. It was a great little segment. But, I mean, if they were going to put this match on Monday Night Raw, it should have been the main event. It just absolutely should have been. And they fumbled that, and the whole thing. We'll get into it a little bit more, but the whole thing was just not handled well. They had a golden opportunity to create this really special moment where AJ Styles beats Dominic Mysterio, and there would have just been an incredible pop, an incredible just atmosphere from the way they react to AJ Styles and having him beat, a heel. It's Dirty Dom, so a lot of people like him, but he's still a heel. And AJ Styles is gonna retire soon, and who knows, he may not go back to France. So this might have been their last opportunity for this to happen, and they just didn't do it. I mean, AJ Styles came out and they were singing the song. They sang it the entire commercial break, so they sang the song for like probably 2 to 3 minutes straight. And then Dominic came out and they started doing the introductions. And when they introduced AJ, they started singing the song again. And then Dominic came and hit him from behind to kind of break that up. And then they started the match. It was fitting. He's a heel. He was sick of hearing this song, so it fit, and it was a good start to the match. And the match was pretty good. I mean, Dominic is miles ahead of where he was even like 6 months ago. He was a joke for a while. He was just, Liv Morgan's little boy toy. He called her mommy, and he wasn't really taken serious. And I feel like over the last 3 or 4 months, he has just improved in every aspect of the business. He cuts good promos. He's a good heel. His wrestling skills are pretty good. He's been going toe to toe with AJ Styles, who is, one of the best, and he looks like he belongs with them. And if you would have told me this a year ago when he was doing the mommy stuff, I would have thought you're crazy. But he's improved a lot, and you got to give him his flowers for that. And so this match was good. AJ Styles is always going to be good, and the crowd was incredible, like you would expect. And then came the ending. So Dom hit a frog splash, and AJ kicked out of it. And, which they always do, because finishers aren't really finishers these days. You got to hit 3 of them before it's actually a finish. So Dom hit the 5-star frog splash. AJ kicked out of it. And then, I don't know, maybe some more back and forth happened. And then AJ caught Dom and did a Styles Clash. And they were by the ropes, but it was kind of a botch, like he hit it and then he turned Dom over and they were really close to the ropes, and you can tell it was going to be a rope break, and he did this awkward pin on him, and like it was kind of not the best part of the match. And then so that happened, and then AJ was pissed off that he didn't get the win. And then he hit this nasty brain buster, dropped Dom right on his head. Obviously he didn't hit it for real, but it looked great. It was a good move, and AJ was gonna go hit the phenomenal forearm. He was waiting for that, and then El Grande Americano came out, which is probably Ludwig Kaiser, which there's some ironic parts to that, Americano, and he's not. He's European. So El Grande Americano pulls him down and holds his leg, and then he loads his forehead with the little metal plate that they do, and then he headbutts him in the chest. A little piece of metal, he headbutts AJ Styles in the chest, and this was supposed to be devastating. AJ rolls into the ring and he can't move, and he's just laying there, and it's like, really? A headbutt to the chest with a little piece of metal? It wasn't their best work. I wish that they did something else, some kind of like suplex or chair shot or anything else other than a little metal plate with a headbutt to the chest. He didn't even hit him in the head. He hit him in the chest, the solar plexus from the 80s wrestling. So he hits him in the chest with a metal plate, and AJ Styles is laying there like he can't move from this, devastating headbutt, which was ridiculous. And then Dom stumbles over because he just had the brainbuster done to him, so he's like stumbling, and he climbs the rope and hits a frog splash and gets the win. And they had this great opportunity. They were in Paris. They have a superstar that they just love to cheer. He was against a heel that had a title, and they could have made this special moment, and they just didn't do it. The match was good, and then it just, after the Styles Clash, it went downhill really fast, and that's just such a shame, because they could have made this incredible moment where the crowd just pops and goes nuts, and AJ Styles wins the IC title, and Dom is going down to AAA and competing for that title in a week or two. And he could have got gold there, and it could have, they could have done news stories with AJ Styles in the IC, and they could have done news stories with Dominic Mysterio and his Lucha title. And man, I feel like they really fumbled this. They really got this one wrong. It should have happened on Sunday. It should have had AJ Styles win, and they shouldn't have had Grande Americano hit him in the chest, of all places, with a loaded headbutt, with a little piece of metal that probably hurt the guy delivering the headbutt more than it would someone in their chest. So, I don't know. Wasn't really thrilled with this. I think that they had a great opportunity and they missed it. They just did. They missed the mark on this one, and it's unfortunate because it could have been a really special thing. So, tell me what. A little bit of a voice squeak. Tell me what you think. Comment below, like the video, subscribe to this channel. We're very new and we don't have very many subscribers, and it would really, really, really mean a lot to me if you did that. So please do, if you got any value out of this, if you liked it. If you're still here, that means you've been watching for a while. So subscribe and give me a like. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye.